I'm Lee. I'm a New Zealander who lives in the East Riding of Yorkshire, and this is my podcast about my handmade life. You can find me on Instagram as Louleigh and on Ravelry as Louleigh. I have a shop on Etsy where I sell knitting needle cases and notions cases. And you can find links to all of my online places at louleigh.com. How are ya? It's really nice to have you here. It's been a little while, and so I was kind of procrastinating about this morning, thinking, oh, you feel like you're a bit out of your zone. Maybe I'm just always out of my zone. Anyway, welcome. It's really nice to be sitting down and having a little chat with you. I'm really noticing my voice this morning. I have a little bit of a frog in my throat. Yeah, so it all sounds very husky and smooth. So just a wee note about the shop. Over the Christmas period it will still be open, and I will still be popping along to the post office. So if you fancy a little treat, you can always pop over there, and there's a selection of notions cases and needle cases available right now. So let's talk about community news. We are in the midst of Advent, and so we have the Advent calendar KAL going on in the Louleigh Ravelry group. If you're opening your Advent calendar of mini skeins and you want to share your project with us and just join in over there, then please come and share and enjoy the fun. It's really inspiring to see what people are doing with their mini skeins. I like to make socks. I like to have a new pair of socks to wear on Christmas Day. But some of you are doing a lot of other things. Some of you participated in the mini skein swap that we had going in the Louleigh Ravelry group this year, and some of you have purchased Advent calendars or swapped them with friends, so that's really good fun. And last time I spoke to you, I had been embroidering a kit that I'd got from Mary's Makery, and I made up a little bag and gave it away in the group. Stand by, I've got a tickle. Yeah, so as soon as I'd finished the bag, I just went over to the thread where everybody was chattering, and that went to Feltaria, and I believe you've got the bag now and have it in use, which is good news. The kit that I made the snowman, the embroidery kit that I used to stitch the snowman, is from Mary's Makery, and she has them available in her shop right now. One of the things I really liked about that kit was that it had absolutely everything you needed in it. It wasn't like you had to go and find an embroidery hoop or special needles or anything else, and so I could just open it up and get started. And it was a really nice simple kit as well. So I had watched a couple of videos on YouTube just to remind me how to do the stitches, and then it was a lot like just colouring in. So if you want a beginner friendly embroidery kit, then pop over to Mary's shop. I shall link it in the show notes, and pick one up. I think it's a pretty good price considering that you get absolutely everything you need. And so I have all of those things still together for next time I plan to do some embroidery. It was really good fun. Yeah, so those are available now, and that bag, which I shall put here so you can see the finished thing that I'm talking about, has gone out. That was really fun to do. It's nice just to have a prize to give away just to people who are contributing and sharing, and it was nice to give away something that I had, just a one-off thing that I had done just for fun as well, so that was great fun. My Advent socks, we are up to day 21, So of course I have finished one sock. I shouldn't say of course, because some of you do matching socks with all 24 colours on both socks. But this is my first sock and I am partway through. I only have a couple more stripes. Well, a couple more. How many days do we have to go? 3 more stripes to go on these? Here we go. Really good fun. I'm using my favourite sock pattern, pretty much to the letter, and it's so nice. I saved a few of the mini skeins that I swapped with some of you this year, and so I've put those into my socks. Actually, it was super fun because the first one that I actually opened was this one, which came from someone who had helped me with the stripometer, and it's a Craft House Magic yarn, so it felt like I opened a little gift from 2 friends at once, so that was really nice. But there are lots of fun yarns in here. Some of them are ones that I recognise from the friend who gave me the advent calendar, some of her things that she's knitted this year. And we realised at the last minute as well that despite all our mini skein swapping, that we had a mini skein shortage. So I did actually purchase from Felt Fusion a mini skein sort of pack that had some in just to top up my calendar. For a moment I was afeared that I wasn't going to have an advent calendar this year. But that didn't happen. So these sparkly ones, I think that's one there. I don't know if you'll be able to see the sparkle. It is pretty subtle. So I do have a few of those in as well. And the fun thing about that is that those mini skeins were 20 grams, and I'm really excited because that means that I'm going to have some 10-gram mini skeins for the advent calendar swap next year. And also I'll have 5 grams left over, because one of the calendars that I make, we only put 5 grams in it. So I feel like I can share that yarn around a bit, which I'm finding quite motivating. So that's lots of fun. There will be a mini skein swap next year. However, I'm not going to talk about it till February. I think that I'm probably not the only person who feels like they don't need to start thinking about Christmas in January. So it is coming, but you won't hear about it here until February. We'll start it then. I'm sure that's soon enough for everybody. Today I'm wearing Traister. I get a lot of wear out of this. I have 2 jumpers made from Louleigh yarn, Icelandic Louleigh yarn. This one is made from Louleigh, and I have Carbeth made from Elephos Louleigh. I think it's Elephos. And I find it really comfortable to wear. It's not a heavy yarn and it breathes well and is nice and insulative. We don't have central heating in our home. That's not to say it's cold, it's just to say that the rooms aren't consistently warm. So if you move around, it can be chilly in one room and then warm in another, which is why I can wear I guess this would be Aran weight, worsted or Aran weight jumper inside the house. And I find this is just enough so that I don't have to put extra heating on. I also like it because it means that I can go outdoors and just put on a waterproof layer and I'm warm enough. I find the Louleigh really comfortable to wear. So yeah, that is Traister, a few months on. I'm just wondering whether I should talk about the resolution that I made, I think it was a few episodes ago, might have been back in September. I'm not sure, but it was a little while ago. Or if I should talk about knit 1000 grams first. I guess both of those kind of go hand in hand. So I'll start with the positive. So I have finished Sizzle Pop finally. I finished a couple of things since I talked to you last, which I think might have been almost 4 weeks ago. Let me see. Yeah, it might even be more than that, but anyway. So it was last month that I talked to you last. And I have finally finished Sizzle Pop. I am just tickle pink with this. I'm going to disappear behind it while I show it off. There we go. So this was pretty much, Sizzle Pop was pretty much a whole year in the making. And in that time, I learnt to do lots of different types of increases and decreases, and of course you do them over and over again because the pattern just repeats, so you learn to do them really well. And I also learnt to fix my mistakes. So I had to, at one point I had to pick up a row and then rip back, and I've learned to drop down rows and change increases and decreases and that sort of thing. So I'm feeling pretty good about my brioche mojo. Surprisingly too, this is an asymmetrical triangle. So it starts at this pink corner here and just gets bigger and bigger. And I've struggled a bit with wearing asymmetrical triangle shawls, and I know I've said before that I pretty much just wrap shawls around my neck and then just leave the house. I don't spend ages in front of the mirror styling stuff. This though, I don't seem to be having that problem with. I thought maybe I wouldn't wear it because it was difficult to wear and didn't stay on well. Both of the yarns that I used though are quite woolly, so I used Shetland Supreme Jumper Weight, and the Freya Gradient that I used on the back. Actually, I should show you the back as well. The back looks like this. You can see the colours there a bit better. They're both quite woolly yarn, and so it means that it kind of clings to itself, and so it stays on really well. It's very warm, which is one of the reasons I haven't worn it a whole heap, because it's been quite mild here, and I really enjoy it. I haven't blocked it yet, partly because I haven't taken the time to even out some of the spots where I had to drop down and fix mistakes. So there's a couple of loopy bits that I actually need to just take a needle and even out the stitches and take up some of the slack in that area. I am planning to block it just to neaten up the knitting a bit and even everything out, but I'm not going to stretch it. I'll probably just wet it and lay it flat. I might use wires just to keep the edges nice and straight, but I'm not planning on doing a heavy block, just a wet block, just a wash really, a wash and a lay out just to make everything neaten up. That's if I stop wearing it. Keep just putting it on if I'm going out or something. So yeah, actually you can see this is one of the areas here. If I focus that, you might be able to see that loop there, that I just need to go in and even that up. So I'm really pleased. I could quite happily just hold it up here and go, ooh, look at my great knitting adventure. And I have worn it on several occasions when it could be admired by other knitters. But when you do something, when you finish an epic project, you want to do that. You want an appreciative audience to applaud your finishing glory. I'm sure I'm not the only one that does it. So the other thing that I have finished recently are some hats that I just made out of Louleigh's DK. I had a little stash of Louleigh's DK. I've used it for a few projects. I have a jersey that I made for myself out of it, and I find it's a nice one to make garments for children as well because it's quite easy care and it comes in great colours. These are just a few of the ones, and I have sent off the hats. I've gifted them, so I'll put a picture, or I might put a video over the top. There we go. I'm going to finish and you can look at the video of the hats that I made. I just made a selection of sizes, children's sizes, to give away. Yeah, and I didn't use a pattern. I just guessed and cast on some stitches and did some 2x2 rib and then a broken rib pattern. Basically I did that because I couldn't be bothered to change needles. If you do 1x1 rib, you need to do it on a smaller needle, and I just used the needle that I had in my bag available and then had good fun making some really nice pom-poms. I don't feel like my pom-pom trimming technique is that great but they look okay, I think. So that was really good fun, and that also means that my total knitted weight for knit 1000 grams is at 892 grams. So I have just over 100 grams to reach that target. However, this is the resolutions segment. You may remember that I said that I didn't want to get any more materials before Christmas and that I was going to treat myself to a selection of fabrics to make a new quilt. And that didn't quite happen. I think I've acquired about 400 grams of new yarn. So the first lot that I got was that mini skein set, and also I made a visit to Wild and Woolly while I was down in London a couple of weeks ago, and I got some more Gilead Durerum Natura. I had some of this in my stash already. This ball's a bit messy already. So I'd had some in my stash and I thought I wanted to supplement it with some other colours, but you'll see in a few minutes that I'm not actually using this after all. I got two balls in two different colours and I really do like them, so I'm sure I'll use it for something, but it wasn't my plan to knit it immediately. Didn't quite happen. I was also gifted a really pretty sock blank which I haven't cast on yet. I can't work out if I'm saving it or not. I'm tempted to save it for EYF knitting, but anyway, we shall see. So I have acquired materials, but I've also been thinking that I still don't actually want to go out and buy fabric for a whole quilt. I don't. There's some other projects that I want to be working on here. So for example, I was looking through my scrapbooks and thinking that I might like to make a quilt from my scraps, just as a way of honing my techniques, really being more accurate about cutting and sewing and pressing and that sort of thing. There's still projects I want to finish off as well, so I think I'm just going to accept that I may make the odd willy-nilly material purchase, but in the main I want to use things that I have in the house and finish projects that I have in the house. And given that I'm so close to my 1000 grams goal, I'm wondering if I should just extend it to 1.5 kilos of yarn. I don't think it really matters. I think more to the point is that I don't just want to acquire more yarn willy-nilly. Ooh, my little dog is dropping things on the floor. Having just sat here and said that I want to finish things, I think I'm on a bit of a roll with hats, and I really felt like I wanted a new hat this year. A lot of my hats are in dark colours and I just wanted something a bit lighter for the middle of winter. So I have cast on the Furrow Hat by Jared Flood, and I'm knitting this in the Gilead, how do we say this, Durium Natura. I was really intrigued by this yarn. I got this a wee while ago from Wild and Woolly after I'd knitted another hat in Shelter, and Anna, who owns Wild and Woolly, suggested that this might be a good substitute for Brooklyn Tweed Shelter. So I bought this to actually just try it out and then to do a side-by-side comparison just to see what the differences and similarities were. So I'm finally getting around to knitting up a wee hat in this yarn. I really like the colour. Yeah, so I think I still have the hat. I haven't gifted it or anything. So I'm really interested to compare the fabrics and to just give it a bit of a squish test. This is also a yarn that Melody, who is Bee Mandarins, had said that she really enjoys on her podcast, and so I was just intrigued to try it out. I think they come in 100-gram balls, so while the balls are something like, is it 11 pounds, which sounds like a lot, that's still pretty comparable to blacker yarns and that sort of thing. And I have a feeling the label is in French, which I'm completely clueless about. I'm not sure if it's organic or not, but anyway, I should look that up and check it out. So I'm working on my hat. It's a pretty straightforward pattern, and yeah, looking forward to wearing that soon. So that is pretty much my current knitting, that hat and my Advent socks. I haven't mended my socks. I keep saying in my focus at the end that I'm going to mend my socks and I haven't. Maybe I shall get around to that in my little post-Christmas creative break. So focus for this coming week. The Advent socks will be finished by next Tuesday, and then I have my hat as well, and I think I want to do some sewing. I've identified that I need a few new things in my wardrobe, so I think I'm going to maybe try out a pattern that I've been looking at for a little while and give that a go while the factory is not in making knitting needle case mode, so I can lay things out. I should have it tidy up. So it has been really nice to come and have a little chat with you. I hope to come back and see you again a lot sooner, because it's so nice to just sit down with a nice cup of coffee and yeah, just share some chat about whips and things that we're doing together. So yeah, if you're celebrating Christmas, I hope you have a lovely day with the people that you love, and if you're not, I hope you enjoy some lovely knitting time, and I shall see you next time. Cheerio!